If you can, okay, we are live.
As the clock strikes 7, the vibes are alive. Inner circles here where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come one, come all, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. In a circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a circle podcast where love is well known.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. Welcome to another edition of Inner Circle Podcast, where every evening from Tuesday to Thursday, we explore issues that shape our community, our immigrant community, challenge our perspectives with some great panelists, and inspire meaningful change, right? So tonight's topic is born here, belong here, the ripple effect of ending birthright citizenship. There's a loaded one. My man, everyone, our president, Trump. That was one of his executive order on Monday. So it's been a hot topic. It's been a hard conversation, especially in the immigrant community. What does this mean, right? Something that has been part of the 14th Amendment U.S. Constitution for centuries, and now is the president, wants to end it, right? Wants to end birthright citizenship. What does it mean for our community? What does it mean for the American identity, right? To end birthright citizenship. So today we're going to be exploring that. I'm your host, as usual, Abe Kamara, and two great panelists. Mel.
Good evening, everybody. Melvin Lionel Zia, as Abe just put it. This is an interesting topic, current event. I think this happened back on the 20th of January, which was last Monday. So it kind of brings us as a community, immigrant community specifically, to talk about this, to see how impactful it is, to us, and what are things we should expect. So participate tonight, guys, as we dive into it.
Okay, Peterson.
Thank you. This is Peterson from Chicago. And like the other gentleman said, this is something that is current and is trending. And we're just here so we can learn from each other and see how this impact the immigrant community at large.
Okay. So, folks, you can call our number if you want to participate, if you want to contribute to the conversation tonight. Our number is 817-600-1525. Or you can comment in the chat, however way you want to contribute to this very important topic, this current event. Please do that. We need your contribution. And please also subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, as we bring meaningful conversations every week here to you, that impact our community. So Mel, something that has been part of the American identity for generations. What would it mean when it gets taken away? What would that mean?
From the upfront, I would say tonight that would not go away. It's constitutional. Is enshrined in the American Constitution, specifically in the 14th basically yes, amendment. Birthright citizenship in the United States was established right through the 14th Amendment, like I just said, in the Constitution. So which was basically rectified back in July 9th of 1868, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Um, and those things were put into place to have those batch of people that were enslaved, the black slaves, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
to be citizen, to be able to be citizen as they born their kids. And
Yeah.
it states in the Constitution, anyone born on the soil of the United States is a citizen of the USA, regardless of their parents' status. That has been there. So
Okay.
this executive order, as they said, the EO, is
Mm-hmm.
unconstitutional. And what we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing now, it has been blocked by the
Mm-hmm.
federal judge. And I think
Temp-
24
temp-
Democratic states have blocked that. So
temporarily.
yeah,
Okay,
it is temporarily.
you had 20 Democratic and 20 generals that challenge it in
Yeah.
court, right? So it has been blocked temporarily. Let's get that clear.
Yeah, it has. I
Okay.
didn't make that clear, but yes, thank you for making that clarification.
Mhm.
However, there'll be a lot of uphill battles as it relates specifically to the Birthright executive order our current president just signed. There'll be a lot
Okay.
of uphill battles. So I foresee that now going through, there'll be a lot of challenges because it's unconstitutional.
Well, okay, yeah, it's unconstitutional where I get it. I mean, I got I mean, that was something that have been that came into effect because of slavery. Slavery has been over a long time. Why should it still be there, right? Why should the United States have unconditional birthright citizenship? Because that's what I mean. That's what this is. This is unconditional birthright citizenship. There are other countries, right, that we'll get into earlier, right? But why should something that was established basically for the free for the slaves that were here, right, to give them the opportunity for that case to become citizen. Slavery has been over ever since. Why should that still be in the constitution?
There are many other countries, as you mentioned, around the world that practice that. It's not only the US of it. So we can kind of go
No, no,
into
no.
that.
But yeah, no, no, no. Let me, and I'll get into that, right? Only the United States and Canada have unconditional birthright citizen. I mean, unconditional birthright, meaning when you are born in the United States, you are a citizen. No matter, there's
Okay.
no condition to it. A lot of other countries, right, is conditional. Only the United States and Canada have that what unconditional birthright citizenship, and that's what the administration is talking about ending. Why shouldn't it that be?
Well, we can go into the nitty gritty of what
Okay.
the executive order is, but I will tell you something. It's
Mhm,
benefiting these countries you just named, right? They are
mhm,
benefiting from it hugely, economic wise, right?
mhm,
People that
mhm,
migrate here, they're not coming here on the basis of causing trouble. The vast majority of these immigrants work and kind of contribute to economics by paying
mhm.
taxes, doing jobs that people refuse to do. So it's conditional on the basis of that. Yes, there are questions as it relates to that. We can dive into more of that. But in terms of benefiting the country, it is more benefiting the country than it's causing problem.
Okay, Peterson, if unconditional birthright citizenship if is beneficial, as Mel is insinuating, how come only the United States and Canada have that? I mean, the rest of the Western world don't. I mean, doesn't. I mean, do not have it. How come if it is so beneficial, as Mel is claiming? Why? Why other countries? Why other Western countries? The United Kingdom, France, they don't have it, and that's why Trump want to what? Get the United States in line with other countries, especially Western countries.
Yeah, so this is a fact one for tonight. But
Mm-hmm.
for in order for Trump to say, "Oh, he wants the U.S. to align with other Western countries, especially like Europe,"
Mm-hmm.
is like Mel said, it is beneficial to the
How? I
U.S.
want you guys to know how is it beneficial.
Okay, so like some of these migrants or immigrants that
Hmm.
come here, especially from South America and stuff,
Hmm.
like Mel alluded to, they do jobs, they take on jobs that uh, the regular, want to say regular U.S. citizen, they do not look into that sector, like agriculture sector, like farmers, people who work on the farm. You will not see a typical American that go to school, high school, college, and graduate and say, "Oh, you know what? I want to go work on somebody's apple orchard or some grapevine." You will not find that. So when these migrants or the immigrants come over, these are jobs that they are taking. And like Mel said, majority of the people that come into the country, they're not here to cause trouble. They're here for opportunity and to work and things like that. And why they're here, they have their children here. And with that being a constitution within the law that, okay, if you have a child on American soil, regardless of your status as pertains to citizenship, that child is automatically uh, American citizen. And the children of those
Okay.
immigrants,
Okay.
like majority of their parents, they are not here to cause trouble. Like a lot of the children that are born here, they are not here for
Okay.
trouble.
So okay. So where do you think the narrative is coming from then? That like, I mean, immigrants bringing crimes, they're bringing all sorts of bad things. If you are insinuating, or you are saying that they are not here to cause trouble, where is that narrative coming from?
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where you say, "Oh, one spoiled apple, one bad apple spoils a whole bunch." So
Mm,
we are always saying it on this show that negative sales, negative news, or things that are negative to the that have a negative impact on the society. It people shine more light on that. So, like, if 10 million people came into the U.S. in the
mhm.
past couple of years, if you have 100 of them that committed violent crimes, those 100 would be broadcasted more than the other 9 million people that are in the background and doing actually good. Nobody's going to shine light on those.
Okay, Mel, don't you think I mean, the whole birthright, the unconditional, I mean, and let's get this clear. So again, only the United States and Canada have unconditional birthright citizenship. The rest of the world have something of either conditional, meaning like one of your parents has to be a citizen or permanent resident of that country before you can become, citizen. Don't you think I mean, the birthright citizenship that is here in the United States, that's guaranteed by the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, don't you think it's driving the whole, like, I mean, the influx of immigrants to this country, right? Like, I mean, the southern border, right? It's like everyone's trying to, I mean, people from all around the world trying to come to the southern border. Don't you think because they feel that, hey, once I enter America, if I have my child there, my child can become citizen. Don't you think that's, I mean, driving, I mean, illegal immigration to the United States?
I don't think so. I would look at it from a positive angle. There are
Why don't you
reasons. There
think
are
so? Why
reasons.
don't
There
you
are
think so?
reasons people. I'm coming there. I'm not just gonna say no and not come there.
Okay.
There are reasons
Okay.
people decide to do stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
America attracts immigrants. It attracts migrants. Why is that? Because America as a whole is a diverse country, right? Almost everyone here is one way or the other migrated here, aside from the native, the Indians, right? The native Indians. Now, if we go into detail, the nitty gritty of it, Europeans migrated here, Africans migrated here,
But through legal
Asian
process,
migrated here.
though.
It's a
There's a
it's
legal
yes,
process. There's a legal process of doing it.
we can get into that legality. Your constitution made it legal,
No, no,
right?
I'm not talking
So
about. I'm
so
not talking
so
about
so
that.
so
It's like you have
yeah,
folks just
let
coming
me
to the
learn.
southern
Let me
border.
learn. Then we can
Okay.
get to that legal piece. Yeah.
Okay.
So people do those things like migrate, come here to have the kids because it's the best country in the entire world. And it's a place of opportunities. They're not doing it on the basis of we're coming here to born our kids so they can cause trouble. They can give you stories upon stories of kids that were born here with their parents not being citizens that have contributed tremendously to this country. Lack of whom some of them become president, like some of them become CEO of companies. We can name a lot of them here tonight that we have seen over time that are contributing to this country tremendously. So people migrating here to kind of give birth and make sure their kids are American citizens. It's not on a bad notion. America encourages those kind of things because the economy is built for that. They are benefiting from it and they're not benefiting from it. Yes. You asked a question about why is it causing problem and why are we saying all of this, right? Negative news sell
I'm
Peter,
saying having an open border for folks to just come to that southern border. I mean, it's like that's what the administration, that's a loophole the administration is trying to close.
I
And
think.
hence, right, they are trying to one of the way to close that loophole is to end unconditional birthright citizenship.
Yeah, but open border is different from this conversation. I'm not in support of open border. Coming here,
No,
you can come in
but that's
legally.
some of
So
the
people
incentive,
that
right?
fly,
That's some
I'm
of the
coming.
incentive, right?
People that
That's
flying
why
from
folks
other
are coming.
countries to
That's why
come.
folks are coming.
Hey, you can try to close the border, work on the border piece. But people that fly from other countries to come here, they come here legally. They come here on visiting visa. They come here on the basis of a lot of other stuff. Come here for medical treatment and stuff like that. So they're not just coming on the basis of, oh, I'm going to America to have my kids and they become citizens. Yes, we can talk about closing the border, which I think you should try to come here legally, which will kind of enable you to not go through the constraint other people go through. Coming here, finding jobs, you got to be working on a table. A lot of people don't want to do that. But the vast majority of people that immigrate to America, they don't come here just illegally. And we see historically it's contributing tremendously to the economy of this country, not just the economy.
The argument, there's typical Americans or taxpayers. Yeah, my disagree with you. They are saying, because as I said, right, there's not just something. Trump has been talking about this. That's what he talked about during the campaign, right? That he want to end birthright citizenship because that's one of the incentives that have folks, right, just feel that they can just come to America, whether illegally or or through whatever means. So he wants to end that incentive. So typical American might disagree with you that
nothing is wrong.
It is beneficial to the country. That's an argument.
If nothing is wrong with you disagreeing with what I'm saying. It's okay to disagree.
I'm just telling you. The reality.
There's nothing wrong with you disagreeing with me, but we're looking at the benefiting aspect of it. The legal confusion this is going to cause, right? So that means we have to amend the Constitution. Right, it's not just going to be the one president say, "I put this to pen and executive order, disable this," and it happening overnight. This is a country that is abide by law and order. So the Constitution will have to be amended, and that will be an uphill battle that his administration is going to face. I mean, when I say his, I mean the current president, Donald Trump.
Yeah, Peterson. What do you think ending birthright citizenship might do to the immigrant community? What impact or what effect will it have on the immigrant community?
Yeah, so I mean, with the whole birthright citizenship piece of it, that's not the only reason a lot of people are coming to the U.S. Like the flood of.
That's one of the incentives, though. I mean, it's like
it's one of the incentives. But if they want to just end all illegal immigration, you say, oh, okay, then that means if you are an immigrant, you will not get a job. Because most people come here because of the opportunity that they have to say, okay, I can go over there even if I don't have a degree, if I'm not skilled in a certain area, I can still find opportunity to work. So that's one of the main incentives why people come over here. But it's going to have a tremendous impact if, well, like Mel said, it's not possible, it's not going to go through. But if it was possible for
why do you think it's not possible? What do you think is not possible? As I said, he campaigned on this. That's one of the issues. Immigration was a huge part of the campaign.
Yes, immigration was a huge part of the campaign, but what he made the focus on was the border issue. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to end birthright citizenship, or I'm going to end the resettlement program, or I'm going to end.
No, he didn't talk about those issues. He don't talk about those issues. He said the country is being flooded with so many immigrants, and he want to end some of those things.
But America was built by immigrants. That's the thing we have to realize.
That's what I just said.
It's kind of intuitive for this argument to say, oh, okay, you build something with foreigners, then all of a sudden you say, you know what? No more foreigners allowed here because now we are out of capacity for foreigners, even though it was built from foreigners and immigrants.
Because the thing is, right, the argument could be had, or the argument could be made, like foreigners are putting strain on the system, right? It's like you and I work. Sometimes we have to our tax dollars go to these things.
Yeah, so we do pay taxes, and the tax dollars do go to take care of immigrants. But at the same time, if you think about it, it's a little percent of our tax that actually go to the welfare of immigrants compared to other places that the tax dollars go.
Okay. Mel, do you think if birthright citizenship, if it was to end, do you think it will open the floodgate, right, for other laws, for other things that in the Constitution to be put forward for changes, right? If there's some Trump becomes successful in any birthright citizenship.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Do you think it could open a floodgate, or what could that do? Another way to put it, right? What do you think would that do to equality in this country?
Yeah. To answer your question, if hypothetically, if it happens, if it go through, right, there'll be a lot of things that we prefer to see change as people that have lived in America for over 15, 16, 17 years, being here. Other things that are impacting people negatively right?
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
not saying immigration is not something that you talk about. They can focus on it, but focus on it from the border aspect and try to control who comes into this country as to whether the person is legal. But things I have observed over time that causing serious issues for
Mhm.
this country is not something we're talking about. But you asked that question, so I'm going to go into it. Which is
Yeah.
this gun violence, right? We see kids getting shot left and right, getting killed in their schools that should be safe, places that you go to be learning. These things are affecting America negatively. These are things I think the Constitution they can go over there and kind of amend. Not something that is contributing tremendously to the government or the economy of the country, wherein you
Make it
have
make
people
sense.
coming here
Make it make
making.
sense to me. How is illegal immigration contributing to the economy of the United States? How is people flooding here like back and forth, right? I mean, illegal immigration. How is that contributing tremendously? I mean, to use your word. I mean, to use your phrase.
Well, if we speaking of the illegal piece of it,
That's
we
what.
can
That's
we can
what.
we
That's
can
what.
di- we can
That's
di- we
what.
can dive into that. But I'm
Yeah.
saying any
Yeah.
birthright citizenship. That's what we're talking about here tonight, right?
But
So
but
somebody can
if
come
an
here
illegal
legal.
if an immigrant if an illegal immigrant enter this country and they have a child, that child is a United States citizen. So
That's the constitution you have.
that's one of the reason why, I mean, to what, to cut that, I mean, to cut that incentive out. You say what? Just end the whole thing and unconditional birthright citizenship, because that's what he's
That's
talking
that's
about.
that's the current U.S. Constitution. But we'll speak to the positive piece. There are people that come here, you
Okay.
know, on visiting visa and all of those kind of things to give birth. They come here legally, right? And those are the ones I'm speaking to that are contributing tremendously to the quota of the economy of America. They work. They contribute to your taxes, the tax dollar you pay. They do jobs that people don't want to do. They add a lot of things they have done over time within the American society that are helping a lot of people. Also, immigrants have created jobs opportunity for a lot of us here in America. So those are the piece I'm speaking to, right? In
Okay.
terms of the
Okay.
influx, like closing your border and people flying from, I would some would travel from places like Africa, enter into America illegally. These are things that America need to fix. And also, people that are doing those things, they are impacting themselves because you come here, you got to be doing things on a table, But I'm not speaking to those. I'm speaking to the fact that immigrant community, the people that come here to give birth, come here legally to give birth, they are helping the American society. The population increase, the demographic, the changes we have, positive changes we kind of talk about. So these are things I'm focusing on. I'm not going to look at the illegal piece. These are things they can address, they can look into by figuring out how to close the border and allow only people that are coming here legally to be here.
Okay. Peterson, I mean, election have consequences, right? As I said, right? Trump campaign on immigration, and one of the things, right, was to end birthright citizenship, closing the southern border, making sure, making sure, like, having legal immigration to this country. It's a wrong when he's trying to pursue his, I mean, policies.
No, it's not. It's not wrong, but that's a way to go about.
Which way?
Okay, so if we talk about the birthright citizenship
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
order that he signed,
Mm-hmm.
now this is sometimes people will say, "Oh, he's throwing a bone to his base," there, because
Mm-hmm.
he knows that it's going to be a battle. Just because he signs an executive order, it doesn't mean this is not like the pardon, like a blanket pardon. Like, okay, everybody from the J6, right? Everybody out now or within a couple of hours. That's not how
Mm-hmm.
it works,
Mm-hmm.
because that wasn't like law. It's not something that was constitutional. This one,
Okay.
I mean, even people from his own party, like his allies and other people, they're gonna be like, whoa, like, take a break. Let's think about this on how to do this the right way, because it's not going to work,
Well, how can you say? I mean, this process has started, obviously, right? There's a country of laws, right? It's going to be
right?
challenged, but
Yes,
eventually the goal is to what? The goal is to end it, because that's what he can. That's one of the issues he campaign on.
yeah. So, I mean, the whole immigration and the southern border was a big campaign issue
Mm-hmm.
for Trump, but like I said, just saying, okay, we're going to close the border, or we're just going to stop immigrants from coming in. I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
close the border, there are still people who are coming in legally. So does that mean you're going to just stop all immigration into the U.S. No, but is the illegal part that they have to focus on, and there are
Mhm.
other ways to mitigate the issue of saying, okay, this is the main reason why there is so much illegal immigration because of the birthright citizenship incentive. And from the beginning, I said that's not the main issue. Most people don't come here like, oh, I'm going to go to the U.S. and have children. And what if they get here and they do not have a child or they do not have children?
But there's
Then
that aspect of it, though. There's that aspect of it where, especially like from where you and I from, right, from the African continent, you have some of these government officials, some of these corrupt dudes bring their family here, have kids, right? Like birth tourism, right? They come and have their kids here because they know that when they bring their family here, is like if you have kids here, your kids are what, citizen. Is it? I mean, is it wrong to curtail such a thing? I mean, to curtail birth citizen. I mean, birth tourism.
yeah, I mean, if you talk about like birth citizen, where
Birth
somebody from
tourism, waiting like your wife is pregnant
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, and then they bring them here, and
yeah.
a lot of people do that as well. But for that, I wouldn't say, oh, majority of the people are doing that to say,
Mm,
okay, my spouse is pregnant, so I'm just going to pay or take it for them to go to the U.S. so they can give birth for our child to become a U.S. citizen, and there's no guarantee that that child would be able to bring you to the U.S. or to say, okay,
okay,
you don't even know if you're going to be alive long enough for that child to be 18 or 21
okay,
to send for you.
okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing birthright citizenship. The president signed an executive order on Monday, to end birthright citizenship, and it is only the United States and Canada have unconditional birthright citizenship, meaning when you are born here, you are automatically a United States citizen. So tonight we are discussing born here, belong here, the ripple effect of ending birthright citizenship. Mel, what do you think? Even the mere idea that we are discussing it, what do you think it is doing to America image as a beacon of hope, as a land of opportunity? What do you think is doing to America image around the world?
Yeah, that's a great question, Abe. Thank you for that. I think, everyone, every country around the world, almost all of the countries in the world look up to the great US of A, right? The reason for that is the countries set example for democracy, for growth, for opportunity, that they see the place as a place of opportunity. And why is that? Because of the diversity that America can allow, because it's an immigrant country. So putting these things out there like that and just making it like not even going to detail as to what the birthright citizen any entails, right? It brings a lot of questions to people's mind. What's happening to the US of A? This country is a place of hope. This is the place that the rest of the world kind of look up to for opportunity. So it puts America out there not in a good way. People see like, oh, what kind of leader we have here? Why is he touching this kind of thing that been helping people over time? Like even some of these Caucasians happen to benefit from, right? Not just Africa, not just Europe. I mean, Asia, Europe, Africa, the rest of the world. Look at this country as the greatest nation on earth. Why? It's because of the diversity that America allows, right? The opportunity America provides to the rest of the world and people that migrate here over time. People look up to the U.S. of A. So this is not setting America up great as President Donald Trump just took over and signed an executive order. I know there are a lot of questions. People asking now, like, what does it entail, right? What are the information in that? What are the details in it? So it really doesn't present America out there great.
Okay. Peterson, as an immigrant, what was the reaction when you hear that, hey, the president of the United States, right, want to end birthright citizenship?
No, I mean, when he made that announcement that it's one of the orders that he was going to sign, I'm sure, like me, there was a collective gasp, like, "Wait, what? What are you? What are you saying?" And it's not only here in the U.S. Like Mel said, people around the world, it gives them hope that they can come to the U.S. and legally, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have that opportunity. And while you are here, if you happen by chance to have a child, okay, then that's it. But now it gives people a pause, like, okay, do I really want to go to the US, or can I go to someplace similar to the US? But there's nowhere else like the US.
Okay. Mel is like, immigrants that are here, now this the executive order has been signed, obviously has been challenged in court and has been blocked temporarily. But for those that want to preserve, especially the immigrant community, what steps can they take? Because hey, let's assume, like, I mean, the Supreme Court weighs in, and the Supreme Court at the end of the day, right, that has been challenged in court, it might end up at the Supreme Court. Why the Supreme Court side with Donald Trump and in the Trump administration? For immigrants that are here, what steps you think can they take to try to preserve this? Because it is just, I mean, for it being temporarily black, it is not, it is not. I mean, you guys are saying it's impossible for it to end, but it might get to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court might have the final say. But if the Supreme Court, right, want to side with Trump or end up siding with Trump, for those that want to do that.
Yeah. If we are speaking hypothetically, if it gets to the Supreme Court and the
Well,
Supreme Court aligns,
getting to the Supreme Court is not a hypothetical issue. If it's
I mean,
going
no,
to
no,
if it's
I know
going to
that
the
piece
court
is not
system, it's going to
hypothetical.
get
But I'm
there.
saying here's a hypothetical piece. If the
Okay.
Supreme Court aligns with the EO, all right. Well, one of the things we kind of encourage a lot of immigrants to do is seek an immigration lawyer, right? Ask
No, I'm not
questions.
even. I'm not even forget about the illegals, right? Immigrants that are here, right? Immigrants that are here, especially those that want to preserve it. What steps can they take? What steps can they start taking now, right? To say, hey, man, this thing has been the identity of these United States. It's the identity of America. What steps can they take, right, to protect that? I mean, to protect that and to preserve it.
You mean immigrants to preserve
The
the
14th Amendment,
14th
because
Amendment?
yeah, because it is something that
Well,
is
that is
I
not
mean,
if that is not in the
what steps?
immigrant,
What steps?
it's not in their hands, right? It's not something they control. These things are
So,
controlled by
and then I
laws.
mean, I know it's been controlled by law, but this is where you have civic engagement, you have advocacy. So, like, I mean, should they
Yeah,
just sit on the sideline and not
this
take any
is
action or do
this
anything to
is
try to say,
this is
uh-huh,
why I'm saying they should seek an immigration lawyer. They know how to navigate these things. The immigration lawyer will walk you through what steps you can take. They will advise you, to counsel you what you can do to kind of make sure you remain in your status, remain legal. And they will walk you through. I don't know a lot of information as to what the details or the nitty-gritty are, but the immigration lawyer will walk you through. I'll make that recommendation if you find yourself within kind of situation wherein you kind of thinking the ICE will come after you. I think you should seek an immigration lawyer to help you out. There are a lot of things they know how to maneuver the system, they know how to go after. So that's what I can recommend. But in totality, the law, immigrants really don't have control over that, right? The president, the court, the federal judges do have control over these things, and the Supreme Court. So if they align with what President Donald Trump just proposed or signed, the executive order, really is out of the immigrants' hand. They can't really do anything with that aside from just following through with what needs to happen and the implementation of it.
Okay. So tonight, folks, we are discussing born here, belong here. The ripple effect of any birthright citizenship. So you can call our number 817-600-1525. Or you can comment in the chat and contribute to this conversation. Should you think, or do you think, birthright citizenship, the unconditional one, wherein, like, no matter who you are, when you born a child in this country, the child is automatically a United States citizen, a citizen of these United States. Do you think that should end? Should we have some sort of a condition, right? Either one of the parents should be a United States citizen. If the other parent is not a U.S. citizen, do you think, right, there should be some sort of a condition? So even though birthright citizenship is guaranteed by the 14th Amendment, but it is something the Trump administration wants to end. What's your What's your take on that? You can call our number 817-600-1525. Or you can comment in the chat and contribute to this very, very important discussion, very, very hard of the press. And it is, I mean, it's a discussion in our community. Peterson, though, why do you think, right, the whole issue of immigration, right? As I said, Trump ran on this. He campaign, campaign in these United States sometimes it's a 4-year process or 2-year process, right? He ran on this. He ran on immigration. But why do you think the whole narrative, right, is that why do you think there's so much focus on immigration? Is it like immigrants? And I asked, we had a representative here yesterday. I asked her the same question. Is it that immigrants are not telling their story enough? So there's this whole negative perception or negative narrative that's out there about immigrants. They say that we are not telling our story enough as immigrants.
Yes, that plays a vital part in the whole process because we do not have enough voices out there advocating for the immigrants like rights and all the positive things that we're contributing to the society. It's
Mm-hmm.
not being highlighted. So these negative things that happen, of course, it will get blown out of proportion. Like I said, if you have uh, 15,000 Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, and maybe somebody sees one kid chasing a cat somewhere and say, "Oh, okay, all of the immigrants are eating cats and dogs," and there was nobody that would come out and say, "No, no, no, that's not true. It was this one single person." So it's like with all the the few immigrants or illegal immigrants, we
Mm-hmm.
have to be specific, that
Mm-hmm.
have committed like violent crimes or
Mm-hmm.
that have been involved in these criminal activities.
Mm-hmm.
Those get blown up by the media, and then it shows like, oh, okay, this is what the immigrants are doing, and it's the negative perception because that's what they're seeing. We're not highlighting the positive things that we are doing.
Okay, but Mel, so what, Mel? Then why is that? Then why immigrant? Because we live in a global community these days, right? It's like we have social media over Facebook. There's Twitter, X, Instagram, right? And a lot of immigrants in this country, right? Is that why are we not highlighting our story, the positive story, the immigrant experience? You said earlier, right? Immigrants contribute a lot positive to this country. Why is that not highlighted? Why is it about, oh yeah, immigrant commit crimes, they are changing the fabric of America in the wrong way? I mean, why is that?
Well, the lack of not having information, not having a platform, not really putting positive stories out there, and that is on the vast majority of the immigration community in America. They're doing a lot of positive stuff, but it's not highlighted on, right. It's not
Why
being
is that
put
not
out there.
highlighted? I mean, immigrants all over Facebook, all over Instagram, right? It's like, is that there are folks out there, but I mean, these days you have influencers. Why did not highlighting the experience in America, the
They are
positive experience?
highlighting
Why?
negativity. Maybe to answer your question, the influencer you just mentioned, they highlighting a
Okay,
lot of negativity. I can give you
okay,
an example in the Liberian community here, my brother. We have a bunch
yeah,
of Liberians here that are doing well. We have a bunch of
uh-huh,
Liberians that got companies that hire people. We got a bunch of Liberians here that have group homes. We have a bunch
mhm.
of Liberians that are hiring nurses. We have a bunch of Liberians that are doing well. But how
Why
many
is it not out?
Liberians
Why
you've
is it not
seen?
out there? Why is it not out there?
That's what I'm
Why
just
are they not
saying.
stepping forward?
We don't know how to put our stories out there. People are afraid that they might attract attention to them. There are a lot of other reasons, but the reason I can kind of give you, those are the reasons, right? The platform is not given, the opportunity is not given. We don't highlight these things a lot, but thank God for our platform here. We try to do that a lot every night. Bring on people that are doing well in the community. So we need more of these. But again, we when we speak of the negativity being on the top list, negative being selling. This is an example. Here we are talking about things that will impact the immigration community tonight, right? We're talking about steps you can take and what's going on, the current event. Not a lot of people being interested in these topics, especially in our immigration community. They are not interested. They rather listen to something that is distractionary to them, something that will not add something to them. And these are trends that we see over time. So a clear example as to why the positivity within the immigration community is not being put out there like that.
Okay,
But
so
if
Peterson,
I, I
if
want to I
if
want to I want to rectify something that you keep emphasizing on
if
about only America and Canada practice birthright
Unconditional,
citizenship.
unconditional
Yeah, there are
birthright
many other
citizenship.
countries I can name. Brazil is one of them. Chile is one of
Well,
them.
we are
Mexico
talking
is
about
one. Western What do you
countries,
mean?
right?
Which
Western
country you
countries.
consider
Yeah,
Western?
about if
So
we
you
are
mean
talking,
the
Which
we are
country you
Western
consider
part?
Western?
I mean, who want to go to Brazil or
There are
Mexico?
many other countries
Who
that
want to go
practice that
there?
in the
Who
world.
want to go there?
I'm not
No,
trying
no, no.
to.
Who
I'm
want to
not.
go there?
What do you mean? Who want to go there? There are a lot of
Hey,
people
I'm
that
asking you,
a
who
lot
want
of
to go
people
to
that go to
Brazil?
Brazil, that go to Chile, that go to
They are
Jamaica.
leaving
Who
from
want to
there
go
to
to
come
Brazil?
here.
But
Who want to go to
here's the
Brazil?
point.
Don't have
You're
my
not speaking the same.
don't have the people here, man. Don't have the people here. We're talking about
No,
Western countries
I
where you
will
can go
because
and
it's
get
there only
opportunities.
Canada and America. Only Canada and America practice that, which is
Have
not true.
unconditional in the Western world, in the Western hemisphere, only Canada and these United States have unconditional birthright citizenship.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason for you just highlighting that, and that reason we kind of mentioned that these countries
Mhm.
have opportunities, and these
Mhm.
countries have jobs that they want people to
So is
want
it
to take
okay?
over.
Is
They're
it
trying to
wrong then?
increase the
Is it
population.
wrong? Is it wrong? Is it wrong if they want to change it? Or should it be wrong if they want to change it?
Then you go through the legal means. Right now, it's
But
not
that
legal.
but that's the process have started.
And meant the country. If
Yeah, yeah.
they try correcting that back in
Hmm.
1889, right?
Hmm.
That was the
Yeah.
last time they touched this birthright citizenship thing and did not go through. So they made
Hmm.
attempt of it. It just did not go through at the time. So if you want to go through that, it has to be legal. It has to be something that you will go through the Constitution and
Hmm.
amend the Constitution. It can't just
Hmm.
happen by somebody putting pen to paper and say we ending this.
Okay. Peterson, I will come back right to the whole immigrants not telling that story enough then, right? If these kind of impactful, policies are coming up, it's like if we are not fighting our own battle, who should fight our battle?
Yeah, that's because we don't have eyes and ears out there. So when things like this is coming down the pipe, it's like we said in on previous shows, we do not have the leadership out there to inform our people that okay, this might impact our community because this is what's coming down the pipe, and there's possibility that this can get it can go all the way up to the Supreme Court, and we don't know what's going to happen at that point, and it can have a great impact on people. We do not have that voice in our community, and not just like the African immigrant, but in the immigrant community at large, we do not have those key leadership voices to be able to disseminate their information down to our people. So, because it's all about information, and since immigrants, most of us, we're not like information hungry. We do not go out looking for information because there are resources in our community that a lot of us we do not know about because we
Yeah.
do not ask the right questions. We do not want to network with the right people,
Okay.
and that's not priority for us.
So it's like if the lack of leadership, lack of information, and we are not, is that I said, who fault is it? It's like because there's a country that encourages civic engagement, that encourages, right? As you said, it's to quote you guys, a country of immigrants. Anyone can come here and have their, go after the American dream. The opportunities are here. Whose fault is it? If folks are not going after that, the information is not coming back, and we're not taking the responsibility to
Right.
what? To get out there and get into leadership.
No, I mean sometimes is ignorance is bliss. If you don't know, you don't know. So a lot of times we do not know how to go out to find these resources or to be able to get the correct information because a lot of
Is it
people
that we don't know or we are not trying enough? To Mel's
we're
point,
not
right?
trying. We
Okay.
we're just not trying enough.
Okay. So if we are not trying enough, if these policies are coming down, it's like why should we be crying wolf?
Well, I mean, some policies that are out of your hands, whether you try or you don't try, it's like
No,
there's
no,
nothing
no.
you can.
As you said, to your point, right? If the immigrant community were engaged, obviously maybe some of them might be in favor of maybe any birthright citizenship, who knows, right? But if they were engaged, right? To me, it's the whole negative perception because it's not only like any birthright citizenship. It's about, oh yeah, now is like the refugee program.
Mm-hmm.
which we'll be talking about next week, right, has
Yeah.
ended, right, has been temporarily put on pause, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of other things, right? Even the DV program, the diversity program, right,
Yep.
that is being targeted. So many programs, whether illegal or illegal. So it's like the whole negative aspect, the whole negative narrative that's out there about immigrants. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that's what is like. That's what puzzled me. Why is that? Why
Yeah.
is that?
And I think also uh, from Trump's first term,
Mm-hmm,
when he was when he showed preference to immigrants coming from certain places
mm-hmm,
of the globe,
mm-hmm,
and now with everybody coming from the southern border, whether they come from China or Africa, they go to South America and they come here. Most
mm-hmm,
of the majority of the people that are crossing the southern border, they're
mm-hmm,
not from Europe.
mm-hmm.
So this is one of the main reasons why it's like, okay, well, we need to stop this and stop it right now because they are not coming from where he preferred people to come from.
So Mel, then do you think the whole immigration crackdown is, is a racist thing? So I mean, because I think that's what Peterson is trying to allude to here, but he doesn't want to say the words. I'll say it for him.
I mean, it seemed like it. It seemed like it. If you target certain
How
people,
does it seem like it? How does it seem like it?
well,
Is that
well, well, from the
we want to control the border, controlling the border? What does that have to do with racism or
well, yeah, you
preferring
are
people to
any
come from
birthright
specific area?
citizenship. We have fed a lot of immigrants that come here. But if here's why I'm saying that, right?
Mm-hmm,
They got him at some point when he first took office, his first term.
mm-hmm,
He was specific with certain countries, right? Like these
mm-hmm.
people, and he even called Africa, excuse my language, a shithole country. If you guys remember that, a lot of the African
But
countries. And
I mean, okay, now who you on that? Is that not true?
no, Abe,
Isn't
let me land. Dude. You trying to change the conversation here. I'm just saying, right? If you made those blunt statement and stop specific people from entering the country, then it looks like
Mhm.
it. Then it seems like it's racist. You targeting specific group of people. Um, yeah. So I would say it seemed like it. But does that mean though? Does that mean you can end something that have been in existence for over 157 years that have been, helping people that people been looking up to? It'll be an uphill battle, my brother. It'll be an uphill battle. We cannot overemphasize that.
Well, no one doubting it's not gonna be an uphill battle. But we're saying is that he's saying, right, the administration is saying, right, what is an uphill battle or not, it needs to end. No response
That's
to
what I
that?
just said. That's what I just said.
Okay,
It's not
okay,
something. It's not something one person can decide say it's ending tonight or it ending today.
okay,
Then it ends. You see all of
okay.
the legal issues, not just states, not the judges, but private institutions, right?
Hmm.
Suing the government for this. So these are things you will have to deal with.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing born here, belong here, right? The ripple effect of any birthright citizenship. So you can call our number to contribute 817-600-1525, or you can comment in the chat, whatever if you have a question for our panelists, if you have a comment, whatever contribution, right? Folks need to hear this, right? As I said, it's hot off the press. It just right after the inauguration, this was one of the executive order that was signed. Peterson, though, how can a society work to ensure that all individuals, right, regardless of citizenship status, be valued and supported? How can a society make sure, right, like, whether whether you're a citizen or not, right, you should feel valued and supported?
Yeah, so if you find your way and make it to the US legally and you are part of this society and you feel like you are contributing in a positive way, I mean, like I said, there are resources out there, and many times we do realize too that each each hand or each finger is not equal. So there will be opportunities that would be afforded to certain people,
Hmm.
and other people will not have the same opportunity. But
Okay.
the reason we said that U.S. Or America is the land of opportunity, that means uh, just because one person says no, this is not for you, it doesn't mean that everybody else will tell you it's not for you. So if one door closes, you go to the next, you go to the next. So uh, to answer your question directly, there are ways that the government as a whole can
Hmm.
make each person feel value, whether
Mhm.
they're a citizen or not, based on their contribution to the whole society.
Okay. Mel, what does being an American citizen mean to you, and how has it shaped your identity?
As an individual, my brother, this country is a country of opportunity, right? You tend to empower yourself if you come to America. You once you are driven and you move to this country and you focus on your goal, the sky is the limit because it affords us, it gave us the opportunity to dream and dream bigger and follow through our dreams and make sure the dreams come to fruition. Some countries, like where I'm from, you can dream all you want because there's no opportunity. So coming to the US of A gave me, my brother, you can laugh, but that's true. You come to the America, to the US of A, you have this opportunity here. You can go to school, take on a student loan, empower yourself, self-empowerment, and get a job within that area. You can even dream bigger and building real estate, right? And doing a lot here. So these are things that made people around the world to be like, this is the place to be, right? This place allows me to dream big, the American dream, right? This is why people are attracted here, because over time there are other people that have migrated here, bunch of people that have done tremendously well in the US of A, within the borders of America and outside of America, right?
What does it
And these
mean
are
to you?
stories.
What does it mean to you personally to be an American citizen? Personally, what does it
It
mean to you?
means it means the world, my brother. It means the world. I can fly from here now today and go to any part of the world because of I have that U.S. passport. For all those that have the U.S. passport, they can do that, right? Without hindrance. And these are the opportunities that people want to see. If you don't have that to go to other countries, you need specific visa, right? And these are the opportunities I keep talking about. And when I'm kind of referencing the people, and these are things that get me, wake up in the morning and be like, yes, I'm going out there, want to, accomplish my dream or my vision. I can
Mhm.
accomplish it with hard work and dedication. And
Mhm.
that's what America is all about.
Okay. So again, right, let me just so the like coming from the shithole country, does that make you to value your citizenship here more?
My brother, I love my country. And I would say this, Liberia is not a shithole, right? We we
Oh,
we
really?
we
Is
lack
that is that one of those shithole country?
No, no,
Hey, next
we
time.
lack, we lack opportunity and we lack leadership, right? We are poorly managed. I will say that tonight, right? But I love my country. It's where I was born. It's where all of my family, from. So I can change that for anything, right? If any reason I can learn here and do something in Liberia to help people that I can help, and yes, this great US of A gave me that opportunity to grow and be able to be like helpful to other people. But I cannot sit here tonight and say my country is a shithole. It's the best nation in one of the best nation in the world, but it's just poorly managed, right? It's poorly managed, and we lack a lot of opportunities. We have a bunch of things that we can kind of grow our resources, but we are poorly managed.
Am I speaking like a politician, poorly managed? Anyway, Peter, what does being an American citizen means to you, and how does
Yes,
and how has it shaped your identity?
right. So, to just piggyback on what Mel said, being a American citizen personally, of course, it shows that you have been presented that opportunity and you take it,
Mhm.
because there are many people who come here. Some of them even come legally, and for some reason, one reason or the other, they do not deem it fit to become like U.S. citizen. They will hold a green card forever. That's because they don't. I don't know. They have their reasons, but for me personally,
Mhm.
is that opportunity that has been afforded me to say, okay, well, I'm a citizen. You can participate freely in the political process. You are free to travel. You are free to like do basically not anything you want, but in terms of personal growth and
Mhm.
things that would be positive to the society, you are allowed to dream, and the sky is the limit. Like we said, um, if you see Elon Musk, they're planning to go to Mars, and he's
Mhm.
already out there, SpaceX and things. So these are the kind of things that people say, okay, if I'm an American citizen, like the sky's the limit. I have nothing that is holding me back but myself and other little obstacles that would be in the way, which you can always maneuver around.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing birthright citizenship, discussing heart of the press. The president signed an executive order to end birthright citizenship. So right now, he has been temporarily black, but a federal judge, temporarily, but why go through, the legal argument, the legal monster. But what will you say to folks, Mel, who says like immigration, right, is creating too many, like the influence of immigrant in this country. Number one, is changing the fabric of America the wrong way. It's creating tensions. It's taking away job. What would you say to those folks? Like someone in Iowa, predominantly Caucasian.
Yeah, I would say, you've been blinded by just what you see and what is being highlighted. You're not looking at the actual story. Now, even though that are U.S. permanent citizen, born here and all of that, parents from here, the crimes they are committing, if you look at the data, right, the people that are shooting people and killing people left and right, a bunch of them are Caucasians. So if we kind of just want to highlight crimes, we can go into that. Crimes will be
Well,
committed.
I mean, to that though, if I can just hold you there a little bit, where that sometimes you don't have statistics on immigrants because most of them sometimes, right, they are, you know what I mean, and stuff like they are not in the system. So there are a lot of illegal immigrants that they are not in the system. So there's not like official statistics, right? So having that comparison, right, that's like like comparing apple and oranges at times. But go ahead.
No, the point I was trying to make, yes, I don't have
Mhm,
stats right now, but I would
mhm,
base it off of what I see in the media, right? What I see
okay.
in the media in terms of crimes is
Mhm,
is mostly highlighted by Americans, right? I can say that because that's what I see. But in terms
mhm,
of the immigrant community, I don't have that data. But I'm,
okay.
I'm just saying, if you base that on your judgment to say the immigrant community, the influx of immigrant causing problem, they're doing this, and then you're forgetting all of the good things that they are contributing to the country, the jobs they are doing, right? The grocery store, the cleaning aspect, those jobs that no one wants to do. A bunch of these jobs are done by the migrants, and look at it from that aspect. At the restaurant, the people that serving you, cleaning after you've done, the people that work at the construction company that building your homes and things. Most of these jobs are held done by the migrants, the immigrants we're talking about here today, and it keeps America growing. It makes this country better, and these people contributing tremendous, like I said tonight, to the economy of this country. So you got to look at it from the positive aspect and not just base it off of what you see in media and what people say. A bunch
Okay.
of immigrants in this country creating jobs for other Caucasians to do. A bunch of them. So look at it from a positive standpoint and not just look at
Okay.
it from a negative standpoint. Regardless of who
Uh,
you are or which culture you're from, there'll be some type of negative. But let it the good outweigh the bad.
Okay, Peterson though, like the whole, don't you think it is, I mean, we live, there's a capitalist society where in like the data is powerful than anything else, right? Don't you think it is these big businesses that are really driving this, I mean, immigration thing because where they drive down wages, like, I mean, Peterson, Mel talk about, there are a lot of industries or sectors that, a typical American might not want to work, but how true is that, right? There have been counter argument to that is because it's like I'm not. No, I mean, I'm not going to work for $5, but if immigrants willing to work for that, right? It's like isn't it like big businesses, right? Businesses driving this because they want to keep their wages low and profit
Yeah,
margin high.
that does play a part in it, and like you guys have been saying, so if migrant or the immigrant person comes, they are not coming with the purpose of, oh, I'm going to go and commit crime. No, most of them come, especially those who come illegally. They
Hmm.
come in, they lay low, so they want to be working the odd jobs. They don't want to be in the spotlight, so they will be working under the table because they want to be like, okay, I can stay. And that's a reason they left their country. If everything was good, they would not leave and come here seeking better opportunities. So they come and they would take those odd jobs. And you're right, because those big businesses, if you go to a Walmart, the person that's working in the stock room or that is stocking late at night, It's not the college grad or somebody that is in grad school to say, oh, okay, we have to pay this person $30 an hour. No, it's people who come here and they will take on any job because they want to survive. And uh, people should see that as okay. If people are willing to take on any job, even if they're paying them dirt minimum, just because they want to be in this country, then that should show that okay, well, that means this is the place to be.
How is that a place to be if they are taking advantage? In most cases, or rather, they are taking advantage of these people.
No, they're
Yeah,
taking
because
advantage of.
I mean, the argument is right.
Right.
If a fair wage is offered for some of these jobs, right,
Yeah.
where in argument is Americans don't want to take. If
Hmm.
a fair wage is offered, American, I mean, there are other Americans that will do those jobs.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are CEOs and big businesses. Of course, everybody they want to to enrich themselves. They want their pocket
Hmm.
to be deeper. So they want to keep more of the funds and say, okay, well, we're going to give our chicken change and whatever revenue we're getting from this company or business, and
Hmm.
that's what they want to enrich themselves. And I mean, is money is greed, and that's everything.
Okay. So, Mel, then, obviously, folks who've been here for an hour, we don't want to keep pushing it, but there's a hot topic, and things like that. It is hot off the press, as we said, right? That is not the last word. We're going to be here talking about this. Next week, we'll have the chief of Broken Park Police will be here talking about a lot of fear that is in our community, right now and things like that. So, but as we try to, conclude this tonight, Mel, if you have the opportunity to talk to policymakers, about this whole birthright citizenship, what would be your message to them?
Well, I mean, it's as straight as it is. Let's the Constitution remain. These things have been in place for years, and they've been benefiting the country. Let's
Hmm.
try to we can try to close the loophole by working on closing on the border, which I'm aligned with. Not
Hmm.
allowing people just coming in, because in terms too though, people that coming in that manner from Africa to go through Mexico and come in, you setting yourself a failure. You don't know what you're gonna encounter. You're putting yourself in danger. Your life is being in danger, right? So if they can work on that border piece and just allow people that are coming in here legally work on that piece, that would be good. But working on the Constitution, leaving it as is, it has been benefiting the great US of A. So if I will talk to someone who is a policymaker, I will strongly speak to them about the positive aspect that the immigrant or the migrant community bring to America more, and highlight some key issues to them that these people are doing an amazing job in this country, and they are contributing tremendously to the economy of this country. Let's keep it as is.
Okay, Peterson, like for the whole immigration thing, right? The influx of immigrants from all over the world. I mean, these home countries, especially like Latin America, Africa, is that what can the government in those countries do, right, to incentivize their citizens of not leaving, right? Is that because I mean, there's a whole, I mean, the global migration is seems to be a huge trend, right? What can these countries do, right? It's like because sometimes they are losing their best, using young people, right, is like traveling to Europe or to America, what can these countries do?
Yeah, so for the conversation tonight, I think it has to do with evaluating the economic system and saying, okay, what is it that the great US is doing that is attracting people from all walks of life, all over the world? What are they doing that maybe we don't have to do it at that level, but to kind of duplicate so that we can keep our people? Because, like you said, they have brilliant minds in from different countries. Like some of the doctors and other people here in the U.S., they're from other countries, but they come here because of the opportunity, the freedom, and also the the top of it is the wage or the money
Mhm.
the standard of living that you get when you come to the US and you are skilled at certain things, how much you're going to make compared to wherever you're from. So
Okay.
these countries just have to assess their economic system and say, okay, what can we put in place so that we can maintain the people that we have instead of losing them to the Western world.
Okay. Mel, as we wrap up here tonight, right? It's like What message then you want to leave for our folks out there that have been listening to us about this, as I said, heart of the press issue about this whole birthright citizenship? What message to the audience out there, right? Is like the immigrant listening who might be worried, oh God, what does this mean for me? Right? Like what's the message to them? What's the message you want to leave our audience tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Abe, for making the conversation interesting and more engaged. Thank you, Peterson, and thank you to our audience for being here with us. We kind of do this every day, and we want to learn from you guys. So just try to participate. As it relates to the question you asked, um, I'm an immigrant. I immigrated into America to myself. I will encourage people that are worried to if you think this will affect you or impact you in a way. I think now is the time to start asking relevant questions, right? Reach out to people that will answer your questions and not live your life in fear as to what if, right? Because that's not a good thing. It's not a good environment to be in. That kind of going to diminishes your performance in every area that you are. So I would say ask relevant questions, seek professional help, look for immigration lawyer, ask them questions. How is this going to impact me? I'm this X amount of person. I just immigrated into the U.S. of A, and this have been passed. How is this going to impact me? What do I need to do to avoid when it's implemented to avoid it affecting me? So ask questions, ask the right people the right questions. I would recommend that. I don't know a lot about how this works, but I would recommend that people that are listening tonight, don't be afraid. Ask the rightful questions, and seek information, what to do and what not to do and stuff like that.
Okay. Peterson, what message you want to leave with the audience tonight, specifically as it relates to all of the, this birthright citizenship, the negative narrative about citizens out there? What message to the immigrant listening, about immigrants out there? What message you want to leave with the immigrant listening to you? What can they do to amplify the immigrant voice, to tell the immigrant story, the positive story you guys have alluded to on the show? How can we amplify our positive voices?
Yeah, so thank you, gentlemen, for tonight and everybody that's tuning. Thank you. And I would want to say, uh, once the election, the votes have been cast, now the process starts over. We get to to start going to, you can say, planning for the next polls. So what immigrant communities and people can do is to, for those that are in leadership or who have that leadership capability, to say, okay, maybe for one reason or the other, I've been kind of holding back. This is the time to actually put yourself forward and represent your community and go ahead so that we can have representation out there. Because if during a campaign, when the president was bringing these points, if we had enough of their constituents to say, okay, we are against this, it was going to let that go. He probably change course, or he would now just say, okay, executive order. Maybe there are certain parts that he will focus on. So we need our voices heard, and we need leadership out there. But like what Mel said, if this is something that you are unsure of, instead of waiting to say, oh, okay, let's just wait around and see what happened because it's temporarily black for now. Let's see. No, go ahead and start making your moves now. Even if you do not have that leadership within your community to represent you, go ahead and ask the relevant questions. Like Mel said, go to, we have resources in our community. Go to your local courthouse and ask for an immigration lawyer and say, okay, this is my situation. I came here and I have my children, or I had a child and this and that. How does this impact me? And they will be able to put you in the right direction.
Okay. Well, with that, folks, that concludes our show for tonight. It's been a great show. It's of the press. Again, my panelists, man, great contribution. Folks, tune in here every Tuesday to Thursday. We bring you great, impactful conversation. Conversation that I think that needs to be had in this community. We need to educate ourselves. Peterson said we need to get involved. We need leaders in our community, man. And yeah, this is your show. This is a community show, Inner Circle Podcast. We are here to amplify immigrant voices. We need to get our stories out there. We need to, folks, we need to get our stories out there. Should not sit in the background. So we are going to be back here next week, Tuesday. Hopefully, we are working on bringing the police chief of Broken Park. He's going to be appearing here next week, Tuesday, to talk about, some of the impact, in communities, right, that are like Broken Park is a huge immigrant community. So we're going to be having the chief of police of Broken Park, going to be here with us hopefully next week, and we'll let you know. But guys, it's been a great show. Thank you so much. Thank you, folks, and good night. See you all next week.
Good night.